Good morning. How y'all feeling today? Hold up now. We all woke up early for this, so we want some energy. I know that you all should be excited. Welcome to Pittsburgh. It is such an honor to have you here. It's such an honor to see you all here bright and early in your red and ready to go. I'm Congresswoman Summer Lee. I represent where you are right now, the city of Pittsburgh. I've been honored to represent this place for 2 years, or for 2 terms now, and hopefully and into the future so we can continue our fight together. Now, I just want to say that when I look around this room, and I'm so happy to be here, when I look around this room, I'm looking at a wall of solidarity that no president, no corporation, and no billionaire is going to break. This, thank you. This right here, this labor movement that is gathered here in Pittsburgh is a movement that has transcended generations with its revolutionary spirit and mind. So let me start by giving big thanks to Cindy Newmeyer for that warm welcome, to President Claude Cummings for his leadership, to Jason Pekech for helping make today happen. I also want to give a special shout out to the striking Post-Gazette workers who have been on the line for nearly 3 years, making it the longest current strike in the United States. Now, I hope that I am here as a congressperson, but I hope that you see that I'm not just here as your congressperson. I want to be here as your partner, as your sister in this fight. Because right now we are absolutely in the fight of our lives against authoritarianism, against fascism, and it has no place in our movements or in our country. As y'all know, Donald Trump is no friend to labor. And he didn't waste a minute to prove it. Just months into his second term, one of his first major moves was to go after our federal workers. He signed an executive order that stripped collective bargaining rights from over 1 million workers. That means more than 1 million public servants, people who dedicate their lives to keeping this country running. They were stripped of their basic right to negotiate. No say in their working conditions, no voice on the job, no power at the table. In case there was any doubt about how far he'll go to lie about how disastrous his economic policies are, Trump recently fired the top federal official in charge of labor statistics hours after new data showed that job growth had stalled this summer. He didn't fix the problem. He theoretically killed the messenger, fired for telling the truth and for doing her job. He also removed Gwen Wilcox from the National Labor Relations Board, making her the first NLRB member ever fired without cause. No scandal, no misconduct, just a black woman standing up for workers and the first black woman ever to hold this position. And just the other day, his administration announced that they're canceling most of its collective bargaining at the VA. That is a violation of law, and it's a direct attack on all workers, all veterans, and veterans care. So, thank you. We have to ask ourselves, if Trump can silence 1 million public workers, unjustly fire labor officials, and remove anyone who defends working people, how far will he go to crush the rest of our unions? So just really quickly, if I could take it back to where we've been, to remind you that in the last time that he was the president, he threatened to veto the PRO Act and Public Service Freedom to Negotiation Act, 2 of the most important pro-worker bills that we've ever seen in this generation, gutted OSHA to cut safety inspections to a historic low, making it easier for bosses to retaliate against workers who dare to speak up, stripped overtime pay from 8 million workers, stealing over $1 billion a year from working families, picked a union-busting corporate lawyer as his labor secretary, someone who literally defended the firing of 22 CWA members just for trying to organize. And he loves to talk a big game about protecting American jobs, but what he really did was hand out over $115 billion in federal contracts to companies that ship your jobs overseas. And he had not one but 2 clear chances to sign on an executive order stopping federal contracts from going to companies that ship call centers, center jobs overseas. Senators asked him, CWA's own president asked him face-to-face in the Oval Office, and both times Trump ignored the needs of our workers and dismissed CWA. These issues are just another reason to pass the PRO Act that we helped introduce earlier this year with our colleagues. To remind you all, this is the Protecting the Right to Organize Act. It is comprehensive. It's a proposal that would protect workers' rights to bargain for higher wages, for better benefits, and safer workplaces. I think it's something that we can all agree is not just common sense, it's long past overdue. And don't worry, I'm gonna wrap it up, and I'm not gonna stay on a negative because we always have to end on our call and on what we are and what we're up against. But I wanna be clear that none of this is happening by chance. It is designed to work this way because corporate money is flooding our political system. Billionaires and CEO are buying influence and stacking the deck against working folks like you, and they're trying to drown out your voices. We have to recognize this as a strategy because when our unions are weakened, when workers are silenced, big businesses win. The 1% that Trump is writing for will win. The CEOs who are bankrolling their campaigns will win. So we can't, and we have to really emphasize this, we are not going to defeat MAGA or fascism or anti-labor sentiments by just showing up on election day. But we can win if we show up for each other each and every day. The fight for our country is right now. It's in this room at this table. So that's why I said I need y'all to have some energy because we got a big fight in front of us and we can't afford to stay asleep for another second. We can't afford to wake up on the next election day or the one after that. We can't keep looking forward to tomorrow because when we are facing fascism, we know that for our democracy, tomorrow might not work. Tomorrow might not exist because even though Trump in his office, the oligarchs have the power of the presidency, if we don't accept that the real power lies with the people, they're counting on that one. They're counting on that. So we have to remind them who we are. They know and we know what we're up against, but they don't know who they're up against yet. I don't know if they've met the mighty labor movement. That's why I'm happy that you're here in Pittsburgh. It's appropriate. This is the town that went up against the biggest robber barons in the world, and we came out on the other end of that with a 40-hour work week and benefits for our workers and safe working conditions. This is where we built America with the union labor of our working people, man and woman, every single day. So we know what we're about. We know what we got, and we need to make sure that they know what they're up against because they are also in the battle of their lives. Because if they think that we're going to sleep through the next 2 years, we need to remind them that we don't sleep on the job. We don't sleep on the clock. This is where the fight for America is going to be born. So I hope that you're ready. I hope you're ready to take this when you leave this convention to your shop floor. I hope you're going to every organizing table in your neighborhoods, in every space where decisions are being made about you, without you. We need you to gear up for those spaces. We need you to get into them. We need you to make those people uncomfortable every day. But we need you to bring more people with you. That's how we win. That's how we start to stack the deck in workers' favor. So I thank you so much for everything that you have done for being here. My ask is that you keep on organizing, you keep on pushing, you keep showing up. Stand with our Post-Gazette workers. That fight ain't over. We need your energy here. Stand up against corporate billionaires. Stand up against oligarchy. And as long as I got the mic, a voice, a vote, you will have it, no question, no doubt in mind. I will be standing with you in the halls of Congress, on the picket lines. We'll stand with you in every space in between. So thanks for being with us. Thanks for having me today. And I'm going to get out of your way so that you can get this on.